Yeah. Anyway, I agree with like the German towns. Just like it's cooked. Like it's just weird, man. Like you think you don't see these places every day. Think about how like sophisticated we are here. And you like go overseas and you think something like that small of a village, but then like they're quite educated.
Oh, absolutely.
What's this?
We were just talking about before, like going to Europe and like these towns, and you don't realize like they have access to so much now.
In Europe?
Yeah, or like not really like this, like not like limited to Europe, but just like a third world country or things like that. Like they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're
And they've got their own way of doing things as well, right? Like I think that's probably the other thing is like, it's a little bit like it can be a little bit like going to a country town here, but it is, as you say, it's probably a bit more sophisticated than country towns here in that sense. Like they've still, like you say, they're switched on, and it's not kind of just like it's hard to describe.
Yeah,
it really
it's
is hard to
put in
describe.
words.
Like unless you actually have done it and you've experienced it.
Yeah, you probably don't do it justice.
Nah, exactly.
Where have you been in Europe?
Where was this in Europe?
Or like where have you been in Europe?
I've been to like Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, England, Scotland,
Hey, he's nearly
Hungary, Czech Republic.
Nearly got you covered, Nick.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've always got me covered, mate.
yeah. So I've been around the traps. I haven't gone kind of any further east than like the Hungary and the Czechs, and I would love to eventually get over
Not
to
England?
Like, I've been to England, but I haven't been east of that. So I haven't done like your Croatias or your Greases. So
I got
I'd
my
love
direction
to.
very wrong there for a second. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'd love to
Balkans.
get over. Yeah, love to get over there at some point.
Let Nick know when you're going. He's
I'll be in, mate. I've been all over Europe, everywhere that you can think of.
So, but yeah, going
places, the ins and outs, the streets off the back of my hand.
Yeah, that's it. And going to the small places are the best places to go to.
They
honestly, like nothing to take away from some of the biggest cities in the world, but yeah, I think like you have, like I said to you before, like you have so many memories that you actually bring back with you when you go to these small places, and you just come across everyday people, everyday families.
Yeah.
And you obviously try and keep in contact with them as well because you've had that shared experience.
Did you go solo?
No. So every time I've done it, I've travelled with friends, and travelled with my wife around to different parts of Europe and Africa and stuff as well. So
Wow.
I haven't actually done a lot of that kind of solo travelling, but certainly travelled with mates and backpacked and slummed it probably in a lot of times, especially in 2006. So
Yeah, there we go.
living on bare basics as a backpacker then. So, the critical things anyway, pretzels and beer. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
What a diet.
all the important things.
Hey, you're
as
getting
an
your
18
carbs?
and 19-year-old.
You're getting your energy.
That's it. That's
you know
all
what I
you
mean?
need.
You're getting
That's all you
liquid.
need. And you get a lot of energy from the people that you're around as well, right? So,
That's the big thing. I've had nights out where I've been down, like, let's say had a couple, I'm out of it. But then if someone arrives a bit later and brings that energy, rejuvenation straight away.
Absolutely.
And you're going.
You find another gear when you're over in those types of environments.
Have you had a panini over in Europe before?
I've had plenty of paninis in Europe.
There we go. Have you had them here in Australia?
Not yours.
Not mine. There we go.
All right,
That's probably the best answer.
That was the answer I was looking for.
Are you excited?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I'm always excited for
Mate,
food.
I know he doesn't like that, but he's the master. He doesn't like it being thrown around.
I'm a humble person, but this is my favourite sandwich that I'm making tonight.
Yeah.
It's elite.
I'm glad I'm getting the favourite.
Yeah.
This is like my go-to.
Yeah.
I'd eat it every day if I was
Yeah.
going to get so fat eating them every day.
We've got a weight loss challenge going on at the moment, don't we, Nick?
Yeah, I'm going so hard on it.
Yeah. So he goes to Europe. He takes his challenges seriously.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Nick?
Mate, I'm just an all guy, you know what I mean? Mate, I've never left the country.
You've never left the
I've
country?
never left the country
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good stitch up. Yeah, that's great.
in my life.
Oh,
The furthest I've been, the closest I've been to Italy is Leichhardt.
Okay. It's pretty close to what you're going to get, right? The
there we go.
authentic experience. So,
Why do you need to go by plane? Just go by car, Nick.
Yeah, exactly.
that's it.
Planes scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
They really do.
He's going overseas next year, but
Really?
he's got it in the back. Yeah?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas.
Oh, Not for Magic Round. Magic Round. What is the first round of the season?
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Over in Vegas.
Yeah. Good. Bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because you think of, like, they try to obviously crack into the American market, but how many Aussies were there?
Well,
Right.
not
So I
just
think
that.
like it's good that there are. Look, don't get me wrong. I promote it to get Aussies to the game and inject money back into the US economy, but you want to be getting Americans to watch it, so that they've got the appeal to then say, hey, like I'd be wanting to take up a NRL league pass or whatever it is, that you can get from the NRL. So,
But not just that. You're not going to go. I don't know. It will be like the Americans coming here to watch an NBA game.
yeah,
Like, it's not going to happen.
it wouldn't happen.
It's not
It
gonna
definitely
happen.
wouldn't happen. Like,
So-
and that's the thing, right? So, like, yeah, that's
good
actually
point.
a really good analogy. I mean, and you look at how much the NFL has now tapped into the UK, and they have games at Wembley and they have games at Spurs Stadium. I can't believe I actually said
Why'd
that.
you say that word? That's forbidden.
Yeah,
That's
but,
going to be edited out.
But they have games there, and again, it's just the vast majority of people that go there are people from the UK. So you're
it's a
right.
good one.
It's the Americans aren't generally following where their leagues are going, but funny how all these Aussies seem to have gravitated over there. And sure, there are Aussies that live in the US as well, but yeah, I just think like if they really want to tap into it, they've got to get more Americans to the game. And
I mean, I think that's the objective, right?
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, why would you go all the way? Like, a couple of my mates asked me, you're going to go to watch the game there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, even if I was there, I wouldn't be in America watching an Aussie sport.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The other
it doesn't
thing-
make any sense.
The other thing as well, right? I mean, I agree with you, and I think it would actually be beneficial. You're sending 4 teams there, right? Why couldn't they play all first 3 rounds of their games against each other in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
That's a better way to. So then that way the Americans are getting 6 games, and that actually has this appeal. It's not just this kind of one-off. Here's a day where they play 2 games back to back. You spread it out over the course of 3 weeks. Those
How
3
much did that cost the NRL?
cost them a bomb.
Yeah.
But imagine how much money they could potentially recoup by getting Americans on board. Because then that would actually make it less appealing for Aussies to go there, because they're not going to go there for that period of time and stay in Vegas for 3 weeks. But you might get fleeting appearances from them.
That's true. Yeah, you couldn't make that week because
But you
that's
get
something
more
on.
Americans, then I think it would actually attract more Americans. They see it once and they get the appetite, especially for that. It was a one-off and then that was it.
Yeah. They're going to
Never to
forget
be
about
seen
it.
again. Exactly.
they're
So
gonna
it's
forget
like,
about it.
whereas if you tap in over a few weeks, I reckon you'd see exponentially the American numbers rise. So please I'm just going to dive straight.
You're going to go straight
Yeah,
here?
thanks.
All right,
Go
do it.
hard.
Thanks. Oh mate, that's heaven. Oh wow.
It's good, eh?
Oh,
We'll get that.
I'm losing bits.
That's
That's
my,
amazing.
That's my favourite.
Oh,
That's my go-to. Do you drink coffee, or would you like a coffee?
I'm okay, mate. If
good?
I have one, I'll be buzzing till
JT?
the cows come home.
No, I'm
Thanks.
good, thank
You
you.
good?
Yeah.
I might skip one, actually.
We got to keep one on the show by Ando, so you got to contain yourself for the next 5
fine.
after this.
Yeah, that's fine. Spread it out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You don't want any? Have some.
No.
Do you want something to eat?
No, so I'm already eating. Mate, we've got the challenge, mate.
I know I had chicken for dinner.
All right.
Yeah.
We got it. We can't be tempted
With
by the
Flaeva
devil.
bread, hummus,
What else?
garlic. Actually, it wasn't that bad. A bit of tabbouleh. It was pretty healthy, I think.
And what you have after?
No, I came straight here. I'm thirsty as hell now, though.
Like we've got
But
something
we've
to
got
quench.
something for that.
Yeah, quench that
We've got
thirst.
something for that.
All right.
We're heading? Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. I'm stuffing my face here.
Another episode of the Flaeva Show right at your doorstep. We are here with a very special guest. As always, Nick, do you want to do the introduction?
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting on the couch. It's a bit of a rando. He's sitting here eating his sando. It's Ando, the Kitmando.
Oh!
I've been working on them.
Wow.
Very good.
I've
Very
been
good.
working on them.
Yeah.
I've flopped the last 2.
No, that was great, mate.
Thanks,
you.
mate.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
For
What
the
an introduction. And
Yeah.
you should be blessed.
Mate, look, as I said, I'm honoured that you've asked me to be here tonight to talk all things football and life. So,
Do you know who gave the assist
who?
to this?
Who?
Have one guess.
Oh, Vag.
Yeah.
The big Z, baby.
The big Z.
The big Z.
And you just imagine Big Z, exactly how you pictured he did it.
Yeah.
It was how he did it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if he was on the podcast with me tonight? How much carnage that would be?
He'd freak out like last time.
I reckon if
probably
we
would.
call him, he'll come. For sure.
All right,
Like, I'm on my way.
maybe towards the end we'll see how if he's
Yeah.
a true fan.
Yeah, there we go.
But it was just JT, you've got to go get Ando. He's keen. I'm like, yes, Big Z, it's all good. We'll work it out.
And then he reminds you every day until we tell him he's
Oh, yeah.
coming on, mate. We've organised it.
Yeah, it's fine. And the thing was, he obviously broached the idea with me, and I was like, mate, yeah, I'm up for it. And then for the next 3 or 4 days, it was just like constantly getting messages out of nowhere, like I'd be at Woolies or something picking up stuff, and he's just like, mate, I'm buzzing for you to go on the podcast. I'm like, it's 2 months away, mate. It's okay. Just settle down. Keep it together.
He's a man full of excitement of life,
is
isn't
he
he?
what? Is he what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
But
man.
we love him.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Big Z. All right,
Yeah.
Ando, you did have it on the cold open, but
Yeah.
here with the more expensive microphones, are you able to get a nice crunch of this panino?
Oh, sure.
How was your first half?
Mate, my first half was great.
All
you
right.
know? As I said, like I had some Slovakia before I came here tonight. So now I'm going panino, you know, it's
Doubling down. Wash it down.
that's it, you know, and it's the true European experience. So oh man, oh good. I'm getting
Make a
everywhere.
mess, mate. Don't worry. Make
Yeah.
a mess. As long as it's not on your jerseys here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're big. And we'll get to them.
Yep.
They're sick.
Yeah.
What a
talk to me.
panino. Do you want it on the napkin? Just
Yeah. I don't want to make too much of a mess, mate.
the couch been battered.
I'm the worst when it comes to mess as well. Like, you know, burgers, beetroot, you know, never wear the white shirt with a beetroot, especially a white football shirt, you know.
You know what? I don't do beetroot in burgers.
Really? Good old Aussie burger, pineapple,
I've never
beetroot,
done it.
egg.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you just got to keep it simple, you know, like meat, cheese, tomato, lettuce, beetroot, and then a bit of sauce.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nah. I don't know. It's just the
simple things in
the
life.
thickness of the beetroot kind of puts me off, that texture.
Nah, it's delicious.
Really?
Mate, I got to reach for a new water. I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, all right.
It was
And
the chicken.
And you know what? Look at the flavors.
Oh, no, we got your flavour back.
Ando, you got the OG flavor.
What's the OG flavour? Talk to me.
Well, you tell us.
Yeah.
What colour appeals to you more?
I'm going to go the blackberry, the purple.
Well, it is blackberry.
Yeah.
Blackberry and goji.
Yeah, beautiful.
Do you want me to show you how it's done?
Yeah, talk to me. Go.
Okay, so we just get it.
Oh.
You hear that crack?
Oh.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. That's refreshing. Yeah, I'll have to crack it open.
All right, whose is better, Ando? I'm getting better at it.
Oh mate, this is good.
Thank you. I worked on it.
I think he's talking about the
How good is it? Now,
Man.
so
That's my go. It's my go-to. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a prosciutto man through and through.
Yeah.
That's all I get here.
Really?
But Nick made me up that
That combo.
combo.
Yeah.
Mate, I was salivating at it. Did Chris have it yesterday?
No, he had a special.
The
He had
special.
a new one.
Okay. He's like Big Z, my mate. He calls me up. Can you call Lombardo to say I'm coming in so if he's got paninis?
Yeah.
I said, mate, I've given you his number. Just call him.
Yeah.
Well, does he have my number? Why doesn't he call me?
Yeah, exactly. Chris, call him.
Yeah. Just call.
Was that? I didn't ask him. Was that his misso?
That's his missus.
Oh, nice girl. Nice
yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Nice girl.
Very
I
nice
didn't make
girl.
it too awkward for him. You know, I was like, I'll give him some space and a little date. You know.
You know what? You know how you're kind of serious with someone? You come to Lombardo's and have a chat with Nick with her.
Yeah.
That's
It
how-
happens so much. It happens so much.
He's got a face you can trust. That's what it is.
It happens so much.
You know, when you make a panini like this.
Well, you know, but
can
I'm not
you
going to
not?
say anything about them in front of them.
Yeah,
You
he's
You know what I mean? I'm
good.
going to wait for him to go and then talk to the boys one on one.
It's kind of like the final boss for a relationship. Like if you come to Lombardo's and he can, do
Gives you the tickle.
he gives you the eyes.
Yeah.
He knows.
I know everything that's going down all the time.
And then he makes a panino and, if she rates the panino, you're good. If she finds something wrong with it, then you have questions. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Something's definitely wrong then.
Yeah. So I'm still waiting for me to do that final test.
We're going to find you someone, mate. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
It's all right.
We're going to find you someone.
It'll be in the bag. With these kits on here
I'm telling
tonight.
you, mate, it happens out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
You know?
You got a missus?
Yeah. We've been married now for 6 years.
Oh, there we go. Any
Yeah,
kids?
we've been together. Yeah, two-year-old boy Ollie.
Oh, they're nice, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
so he'll be getting these shirts one day.
Yeah, there you go.
When he's a bit bigger, but yeah, no, we've got a lovely family, loving wife, and
It's the best,
loving
isn't it?
son. Yeah, oh mate, yeah, it's amazing. You know, just sharing, you know, what life's got to offer. Go out, travel, and do things, and get away as a family, and you know, just seeing him grow up. You know, it's just amazing. You know, and we just cherish every moment that we have together.
Two's a good age.
Yeah. I mean, now he's full of beans and full of life, and he's just chatting away about all different things, you know, and loves his football now, which is great. So
Yeah, perfect.
You've
take
done
him
well.
to Sydney FC games, and
Did you go on the weekend?
what's that? Sorry.
Did you go on the weekend?
No, I didn't. I couldn't go on the weekend. I had my cousin's 40th, but I did catch the game later in the evening, and yeah, mate, great result.
Great signs.
Yeah.
That front three looks
Oh,
good.
it's very, very exciting. So yeah, give it another kind of 6 or 7 weeks. Yeah, I think they'll be like kind of really humming and clicking, and by that point, you know, you can see the goals just kind of coming free flowing. So
I think Premiers.
very early call after
It is.
after one round.
It's big.
But
It's a big call. I was very impressed.
yeah, but yeah, look, it's promising signs, that's for sure. You
Yeah.
know, they get on the same page, and it'll be a different story. So
All right.
Um,
Let's see what you think, by the way.
oh yeah, let's give this a go. Oh, that's refreshing.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, after the panini, you know, it's just like
It's good. Wash
just
down.
Yeah.
get it to wash down, and
Well, look, before
beautiful.
you
Yeah,
know,
talk-
see your heart on that one,
Yeah.
just there's
Have a
another
crack.
one there for you that you need it.
try both flavors.
That's right.
Yeah.
We want honest opinion too.
We want to know what one you like.
What's
Okay.
going down on a summer's day?
No, I still think
I knew it. I
blackberry.
knew it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah,
Sorry, mate.
It's all right. All right. We may as well get on with the show.
yeah.
All right, Ando.
Yes.
First four questions.
Yeah, go.
Quick fire. All
Yeah.
right. What's overrated about being grown up? Being grown up. Sorry, let me rephrase that. What's overrated about growing up? That's what it is.
God, that's a big question. Probably growing up.
You okay?
Yeah,
What do you mean overrated? Like,
Like kids really want to be older to do that thing, but when they do it, it's not that big of a deal.
oh, not go to school.
Yeah, that's overrated.
Overrated, mate. Take me back to school. It was great.
Yeah, I think like you know, like I've got a couple of close mates that I grew up with, and we grew up together in Des Moines and stuff, and we reminisce about our childhood all the time. And you know, kind of, you know, you do say like how good would it be to kind of go back to living that kind of life, but at the same time though, like would I swap it? No, absolutely not. Like I've got a loving family and my son and stuff. So now it's like, you know, you're getting into that phase of your life. But I think you certainly reminisce about a lot of those things. But yeah, obviously the growing up and then, yeah, getting a mortgage and those types of things, they're exciting at first, but then there's all the bills that come with that as well. So that you don't ever think about when you're a kid. So yeah.
Never. Not a worry in the world.
So it's just like good being naive as a kid then, eh?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, the best.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one is if you're on death row, last meal.
Oh, wow. Last meal. I'm going to go a bit left field here. Chicken katsu curry from Japan.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's big.
yeah.
I don't think we would ever hear that again.
All right. Where
That
from?
good.
Panini, I'm telling you, the panini's good, but
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
but mate, I had in Japan, in Hiroshima, I had just found this little restaurant on a corner, and it was called the Curry House. And I'd heard lots about it. My mum had actually made these curries before when I was a kid. But you don't know that it's actually probably one of the most popular dishes in Japan is this chicken katsu curry. So I was like, I've got to try it for myself here.
Yeah, right.
And I was in Hiroshima for 3 nights, and I went back to that lady every night for the same meal because it was just that good. So
Crazy.
it's crazy, right? But that's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, yeah, I would love a chicken katsu curry. So
From that same lady.
probably from that same lady. Yeah, why not?
All right. What a place, Japan, by the way.
Yeah, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful place. Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable. All right. 3 people, 1 to dine with, 1 to party with, and one to work out with.
Dead or alive as well, by the way.
One to dine with? I would dine with Arsene Wenger because I just love to talk all things Arsenal with him. One to party with. Having watched The Last Dance, it would be probably hilarious to watch Dennis Rodman on a night out in the town, hearing some of those stories and just hearing, Pippen and Jordan talk about what it would have been like. And then I think from a workout perspective, probably the competitive side to see how some of those athletes would train. So I'd probably be torn between like a Michael Jordan or a Thierry Henry, just to see what someone of that ilk at the top of their sport, how they would actually train and work out and how they would test their limits.
Yeah.
So
right. Which one though?
Probably.
Jordan or Henry?
Probably Jordan. Yeah, I love Thierry Henry, but
What a
Jordan, mate, he was just
The GOAT?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I watch a lot of NBA now, this is no disrespect to LeBron James, but
Jordan's the GOAT.
But just seeing what he did and he kind of put, he certainly put basketball in the 90s on the map, and I think that kind of then elevated it to that international stage. Because I think before that, it probably, having seen and read a lot more about it now, it seemed like it was a lot more kind of insular to the US then. But I think he put the sport on the map, and then obviously the whole Air Jordan phase and that kind of stuff, it just kind of kicked on. So
it came with like a whole lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Fashion sense and
absolutely
how you walk.
Yeah. And then it's changed the tone now for NBA athletes now, because everyone wants to have their own shoe and everyone wants to have their own signature logo, so I think like a lot of those guys it's come off the back of the success of the Jordan brand. But I mean, let's be honest, is anything ever going to supersede the original? Probably not. But I think he certainly put the sport well and truly on the map, and then added that little bit on top. So
crazy thought now to think, what else can athletes do to be held in that high regard? Like every sport's pretty much on the map in some way, shape or form, right?
Yeah.
Obviously not the big sports are them.
Yeah.
But in terms of the overall GOAT, like who transcends the sport?
Yeah.
I think
That's a good point.
But like LeBron, stats wise, you could probably go, and his longevity,
absolutely,
very fair point. But then at the same time,
won the title with 3 different teams as well, and every team he's gone to, he's had his challenges. Like that's the reality of it. Like he went to Miami, and there was that expectation of him going to Miami and being with Bosch and with Wade, and it's like there's the big 3 and all those types of things. And it didn't happen in the first year, right? Like everyone was expecting it, He's going to go there and they're going to win everything, and they're going to win it for years and years and years. And it took a bit of time to get to that point. Then he went back to Cleveland and won it with his hometown, and again had to build a team around him that was able to be competitive. Obviously went out to LA and won it with the Lakers as well. So I mean that's a true test of the player that he is, and as you say, the longevity of it. Like the numbers that he's putting up for a guy that's nearly 40 is just stupid. Like that's. Yeah, so there's no question whether he sits in the realm of
stem cells.
But I mean, you got to look at Jordan.
It's not LeBron.
Right.
Like Jordan played basketball, then disappeared and played baseball for 2 years, and then came back and then just said, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to come back and win another 3 titles in a row." Like that to me is insane.
Crazy.
Like,
yeah.
Can you think of any other athlete
conditioned
on the
for a
planet?
completely different sport? Come back and no worries, I got this.
Exactly. It's not like let's try and use some sort of example. There's all this talk about Nathan Cleary, right, going from league to union and making that transition, and whether he'd have the same success. But the skill sets that go across those 2 sports are so similar. But basketball and baseball are totally different. Like your hand-eye to be a batter in baseball has to be phenomenal with some of those pitches, 90-plus mile-an-hour pitches, and then to then just suddenly transition and do step back jump shots and shoot a ball from 25 feet. It's a whole different mindset and skill set. So, and to just flick a switch and go, yeah, I'm going to come back to basketball, and then do what he did. I think that's the more phenomenal part more so than the 3 that he won at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it got harder, the competition. Like,
Absolutely.
what years did he come back? 96?
Yeah.
Came,
So he
came
played.
back in 96, played 97, 98.
99.
Yeah.
Did he win his last one 99?
No,
I
it was
think it was
98.
98.
So he went 91, 92, 93. Then 94 and 95 he was with baseball, and then he
Baseball,
came
yeah.
back 96, 97, 98. And then after that he was like, I'm done, I'm retiring. And then came back and played for the Washington Wizards, and that never went anywhere. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's
6
a different.
rings.
Yeah, exactly right. He's 6 from 6. That's the other thing as well.
Yeah, yeah.
When you think about it, like LeBron's had a few cracks at it, but you know,
He's never lost like the finals.
No.
He lost the semi the year before, right?
correct. Yeah. But
Okay.
he's gone NBA Finals 6 times and won at 6.
That's crazy.
So I think from that point of view, yeah, you really got.
but you could argue so many things, right? Like so many
Kobe
things.
Bryant would be in the same
That's right.
realm, right? He was off the back of Jordan.
Yeah, that's right.
So again, it's the same thing. You can throw him in the mix, but I think a lot of people always gravitate to, is this person as good as Jordan? It's never
always
anyone
the
else.
conversation. It's
It's
always
ne-
the conversation.
Exactly. It's never anyone else. It's not, is this person as good as LeBron, or is this good as
And then
Kobe?
you get a Steph Curry, who's a completely different player.
Exactly.
Completely
the greatest
different
shooter
player
that
to
the game's
all of
seen.
them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so again, you can't even put him next to any of the others because he's just such a different player.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, he's probably as good of a game winner as any of the others as well, right? Like his shot can if he's on, forget about it.
Yeah. It's bucket after bucket.
Exactly. And you can't stop it. No matter how much you want to defend him and put him 30 feet from the basket, he will still score.
Yeah, he's going to get it.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
They're freaks.
Yeah.
All right, and last one, dream
for it.
5-a-side football team.
Ooh.
Change these up.
This is good. I would probably go Ollie Kahn in goal because he's a madman. And I just loved everything about him. As good as a keeper as he was, I think he just provided that entertainment. I'd probably go Cannavaro at playing down back, and then I'd play 3 across midfield, so I'd have Zidane in the middle. I would probably go a Roberto Carlos maybe on the left, and then on the right, I'd probably go Beckham, and then up front I'd go Henry.
Yeah, what a team.
That's
Yeah.
a team.
That's a big team.
You got to have the balance, right? So Carlos that can get back and defend, but then he can also, provide good assists and deliver the ball.
Yeah,
And
drive
then
the
Beckham,
ball.
and Beckham with his creativity, and then Zidane speaks for itself.
Yeah,
right?
well, Zidane will be...
Yeah,
He was immense.
yeah,
What a
Yeah.
player.
yeah, absolutely. So
We were talking about him last week, right?
Yeah. Hey,
Fantastic.
wow, one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
For sure.
If not the GOAT.
Yeah.
Not my GOAT.
Who's your GOAT?
I think Ronaldo's my GOAT.
Yeah, the real Ronaldo, R9.
Nah.
Oh,
CR7,
CR7.
mate.
Wow, better than Messi. We could go
I,
all
I,
night.
I rate him better than Messi.
Yeah.
I know Messi's won everything.
Yeah.
But I think I'm probably a bit biased. I just love Ronaldo. I love that he's done it in many different leagues.
Yep.
That's
And-
my case, bro.
And again, tick, tick, tick. Like,
Yeah.
you can't fault that.
It breaks my heart it's not Henry. Because Henry's my favourite player of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's
And
not
I
your
do-
goat.
I think Ronaldo... Yeah, Ronaldo, man. Like, come
But then
on.
again,
he's
Henry's CV was pretty good.
very good.
Won a World Cup, won a Euro, won a Champions League, won a
Yes.
Premier League, won the FA Cup,
Just didn't win the ball and all.
and was robbed.
Robbed.
Was rightly robbed that year
By who?
by Pavel Nedved.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, nothing against Nedved. I love Nedved. He was probably my second favourite Czech player behind Rosicky. But Henry's numbers that year were like
He's only did
astounding.
like 30 and like...
16 assists
Yeah,
or something like
crazy.
that. It was just stupid numbers for a guy that played up front. So,
Is football your top tier? Like, that's your sport?
yep, absolutely. Yeah. It'd go football. And then underneath that, I grew up in a big cricket family, and I played cricket growing up. And so like my mum worked in cricket for nearly 40 plus years. So yeah, I grew up around cricket. So it'd be probably cricket and then Aussie rules. And then probably your leagues, NBAs and that kind of underneath. But I'm a man of all sports. So if lawn bowls is on, like, I'll watch it.
Yeah, right.
If the netball's on, give it a shout. Why not watch it?
You wouldn't do that to your misso.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Absolutely
You love her?
Yeah, absolutely love
You
her.
want to tell her?
Yeah, I love Kate.
Tell her, mate. Why isn't this button?
I love you, Kate. I love you so much.
That was nice.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Change it up.
I was very
Oh,
lucky.
I
I
just
wasn't
clicked on one of
expecting that.
That's all right. Bit of a love song shout out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got someone to love, mate. That's
it.
that's
It's the most
very-
important thing.
That's
You know who
right.
doesn't have someone to love? James.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We're all on.
Absolutely.
I'm looking out every day for the bloke. I am.
Yeah.
If they're not good enough though,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
That's it.
Absolutely.
It's not happening.
All right. Ando,
Yes.
retro jerseys.
Yeah.
You're all about them. We're both wearing
Yeah.
our retro kits.
Yeah.
I was debriefing to you that it's my favourite ever Arsenal kit, Nick. Ever. And my brother got it for me for my birthday.
Oh, there we go.
He went through Ando.
Yep.
So how did it all start? Obsession, was it? Or like, because now,
Yeah.
back in the day, you used to get the kit and you just wear it and like you pummeled it. Like,
Thrash it. You'd wear it every day.
but now it's like fashion.
Yeah.
And people are like
it's changed. The
crazy.
So how it started, growing up, I had teams that I supported. Like I'll go to Cronulla Sharks games and that kind of stuff, and to Sydney Swans and Northern Spirit and all those types of things. So I'd always have, a shirt there, and get them for your Christmas and birthday and whatever. As I said, my mum worked in cricket, so she used to get me gear for when she was working at New South Wales and stuff like that. So kind of probably stemmed a little bit there that I kind of was like, I love all the stuff and the paraphernalia and the gear behind it. And then, then I got my first Arsenal shirt when I was probably like in my early teens. And then that kind of then triggered the need to want to get more. And, every year there was a different shirt, a different away shirt, a different third shirt. And then it probably didn't really obviously I'd gone and travelled overseas and picked up shirts in my travels as well. So there's some shirts in the collection that have that kind of meaning, like going to a different club shop or going to a game or anything like that. There were shirts that I picked up. But then it wasn't until probably COVID that it probably started to kind of like ramp up, that I actually started to get right into it. Before that, I probably had about 20 or 30 shirts across different sports, mainly football, but then
To just collect.
just to collect. And
Okay.
I mean, there were ones that, there's ones that I wear and all that kind of stuff. And I do wear quite a lot of them, but there are some that I have bought and I probably would never wear because of how rare they are or how expensive they are. It's an expensive habit. But COVID, probably, being locked down, and I just kind of was like, I need to try and collect something or do something to just kind of have that interest. So I started collecting more and more Arsenal shirts and different shirts from different clubs around the world. The clubs that I support in some of the other leagues, so like Lazio in Italy, Stuttgart in Germany, and Atletico Madrid in Spain. They're probably the other ones, and Marseille in France. They're probably the ones that I have like multiple of the club shirts. And then then I was like getting a little bit nostalgic about the 2006 World Cup. So I started collecting the shirts from the 2006 World Cup, and then I was like, all right, well, I've got eight of the nations. How hard would it be to get all 32? So I started just collecting all 32 shirts. So that was a bit of a mission to get all 32 nations, but eventually got there.
No way.
Damn.
Yeah. So I got all 32 shirts all 32 nations from that World Cup, and then obviously some that I've got home and away. So I got the Socceroos home and away, and a few other ones. But so then
That was the best Socceroos kit ever.
The
The
2006 World Cup was
with
nice.
the green on the back
Simple.
where the names went.
so simple.
That was like total football for me. Like,
Exactly. Like all those Nike shirts were just really simple. None of them are overdone. It was just like, even the Dutch one, that was just like just plain orange with a collar. Loved it. Like it was just Nike got it on point for that World Cup. So then I started to do that, and then I've been to a couple of the other World Cups. So then I was like, let's try the 2010 World Cup and see if we could try and get a few of those shirts. Suddenly I was I've got about probably 29 of the 32 nations. Some are very hard to get, like North Korea.
Oh, you got him.
I don't have North Korea. So if there's anyone watching the podcast that has a North Korean shirt from the 2010 World Cup that they're willing to sell,
Name your price.
hit me up afterwards at the Kitmando on Instagram. But yeah, so then I started to collect just some different tournaments. So I've got like the Euro 2000 tournament. That was probably my favorite Euro tournament because it was the first one that I really watched as a kid. So I got all the shirts from that tournament, all the nations from that tournament. So then it just kind of, it really did. Then there were some that were like on the bucket list, like the Jamaica one from 98 because it's pretty iconic. So there were certain shirts that I started to like list and go, these are ones I want to add to the collection. And then I got a real fascination for the J-League, like early 90s J-League. And so that's when I started to like research a bit more about that. And I noticed heaps of guys were popping up on Instagram posting different J-League shirts from Japan and all these weird and different teams. And then, as I said, it just kind of became a bit of a fascination. So I've got quite a few of the J-League shirts from back in the 90s and then into the early 2000s. So
Do you know, as of right now, how many kits you've got?
I haven't done a count, but it would be, probably a couple of hundred, if not
Couple
more.
hundred.
Yeah, probably.
Damn.
Whoa.
Yeah, my most of my wardrobe space, the hanging space, is football shirts, the ones that have all got prints and stuff, and then there's a couple of boxes as well of just other ones that I've collected over the years. But it'd probably be a couple of hundred.
That's
sure.
mental.
Yeah, it is pretty mental. I think the wife's saying to me now, like, you've probably got enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
But she actually, she was actually like, she's been really supportive in terms of that collection because she, when COVID happened, she was like, it's great, like that you're getting right into it. And she knows that it's something like when we first met, I was like quite passionate about like collecting football shirts and going to football games and that kind of stuff. So she knew what she was in for, but probably not to the extent that it's probably developed. But I mean, she's been great in terms of that and just like seeing the influx of those coming in.
and with the Insta page, is it all about promoting what you have or hooking people up that are looking for things?
It's a bit of both. Yeah. So I mean, when I first started, it was basically just showcasing what I've got. And then it kind of just, it kind of kicked off there. So I don't know, I've probably got about 2,500 followers now, which is pretty crazy to think about, like from where I was just starting to just like showcase it to people online and all that kind of stuff. But now I try and probably either sell bits and pieces that I don't necessarily wear that much, or I've got like, doubles of certain shirts that I've got because one I bought was too big when I originally got it. So I got something that's more in my size or something like that. And then I try and help other people. Like if there's other people that are looking to get football shirts, and I'm definitely like I'll try and help people out because, it's funny, like when you first start out, you don't realize kind of how big the kit collecting community is here in Australia and New Zealand, but it's actually quite large. There's different pop-up things that happen all the time, all throughout Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane and stuff. So there's always like it's becoming more and more popular. And as you said, JT, it's gone away from like, as kids you wear shirts. Like when I first got my Arsenal shirt, right, as a kid, I was obsessed with it. And that summer that I got it, I literally wore it like every day. My mum said to me after day 6, you got to wash it, mate, because it's starting to smell and it's got stains all over it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Wash it. The next day, as soon as it was dry, I'd wear it again. But now it's become like a fashion trend. Like if you see like how many current footballers now start to like rock up to games in older shirts and that kind of stuff and reminiscing about that kind of thing. It has become like this kind of like fashion trend now where people have become like obsessive about looking the part in these, and it's almost like a little bit symbolic. Some people are kind of like trying to flex their muscle on Instagram to go, I've got this shirt from like, the 80s and, it's so rare, and they're kind of like flaunting it around at a pub and all that kind of stuff. So the trend has certainly kicked off, and I think it's one that's going to keep going on up and up, like
it's done. Like the clubs are in such a good position to re-release any retro kit they want, and it will sell out.
a
Like
good point.
it's gone too like. I was going to get your thoughts on it. For me, this is the second time I've worn this
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Because I just can't. I don't
You
want
thought
anything.
you'd share it with me tonight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's how much.
Yeah.
Can't bear the thought of anything happening to it.
That's right, Nick. And I have to stay that way tonight.
No, I'm not gonna hurt it. I'm not gonna hurt your jersey.
But I don't know. I think it's just gone. And look,
Clubs have taken advantage.
as
Absolutely.
they should,
Yeah.
which is. But I just can't fathom now how much jerseys cost for the average consumer. The Arsenal kits, let alone like 140 now. Then you got on top of the retro kits, which are sometimes like closer to 180, depending on the style. Like the bruised banana kit went bananas.
Yep.
You know,
Literally, yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
literally.
went out of stock within
So-
seconds. Yeah.
I don't know where I'm more on the like, negative side because I'm just like, man, what's this? It's just become insane. But at the same time, like you
Yeah.
said, for people, brings back that core memory.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a great experience in their life.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on the fence at the moment because I just think it's too much at the
Yeah,
moment
yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
For me, anyways.
I absolutely concur. I think, like, again, when I first started getting when I first got that Arsenal shirt back in the day, this is how it used to work, right? So the home shirt would go over 2 years, but every year they would release a different away shirt. And the away shirt from the year before would always carry through as the third shirt for the next season, right? So there was none of this kind of releasing 3 shirts every year, sometimes a 4th, just for the excuse to sell it. Like Manchester City do that so often now to appeal to, to different parts of the world and different cultures and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and it's, as you say, there's the fan version, then there's the player version, so the authentic version that a lot of them call it. So there's 6 different shirts that these clubs are releasing. Then you add on the retro ones, the retro re-releases, and again, people go nuts because they're like, oh, I remember when I was a kid in 93 and then, they were wearing that shirt on TV and, I dreamt of having that shirt and then suddenly, they're just like appealing to that part of the fan base. But it's clever from these organisations as well, right? It's like they can
They're
cash
making
in.
money off it.
Masters of scaling.
Absolutely.
That's what they are.
Absolutely.
Masters of scaling.
And you to think of how much it would actually cost them to make it versus how much they're selling it for. And you look at when they go on sale at the end of the year, like how crazy that is, right? So, I mean, if you're smart about it, you wait till the end of the year and just wait till they go down to like 30 or 40% of the price. But at the same time, there are some shirts out there that that will get snapped up straight away because of the popularity. So you got to get in and
And then we didn't even factor in players on the back, badging.
Yep.
Like that's an extra cost to
Yep.
get that added to the shirt.
Yeah.
Like my rule is now, if I don't like the shirt,
yeah,
I don't buy it.
yeah,
Like I don't
You
care.
gotta like the look of it. You mean?
I have to like the look,
Yeah.
even if it goes on sale.
yeah.
So like, especially with some of I've liked some of the Adidas ones that
Yeah.
Arsenal have been doing, but I just haven't.
Mike's in town's got some pretty good retro stuff.
Who's that?
Mike's.
Where's
Is that
that?
what it's called in the CBD?
Oh, Mick Simmons.
Mick Simmons.
Yeah.
Mick Simmons. So
that was a go-to when I was a kid.
yeah,
Yeah, they
great
were
stuff.
always loaded with different sports.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Weird game, man.
yeah. It's an expensive habit though,
Yeah.
as you can soon find out.
I could
Especially if you want
imagine,
to want to get the retro stuff or you want to get the stuff that is older stuff. Yeah, then the older it gets and the more popular and the harder it is, then
Yeah, man.
the more expensive it is. So
One kid that I really always rated was the Rail Beatus old Kappa ones. Oh, they're
you
pretty
can't
sick.
go wrong with a Kappa shirt.
Nah,
right?
never. Kappa's probably one of the best football brands
Absolutely. Back in the
Yeah,
ever.
day,
Ever,
for
ever,
sure.
ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had some absolute belters.
Yeah, man.
So,
Crazy.
and then Adidas.
yeah, I'd agree
I
with
put
that.
Nike above.
You reckon?
I'm biased towards Nike, as you can see by.
Yeah.
I
Sponsored tonight by
like an Adidas jersey.
But then probably Adidas. You know what? You know it's actually underrated? Puma. But they just do some stinker of kits.
Yeah.
They have bangers and then they have absolute stinkers.
Their boots are pretty good.
Nah, see, I can't even rate their boots anymore,
No?
to be fair. Nah.
When they did Arsenal shirts,
Horror.
the longer that relationship went on, the worse it got.
I actually can't believe City still has them.
Yeah.
It's
There's some
mind-boggling.
there are some shirts that they've released, and I'm just sitting there going, man, if you're a Man City fan, you're thinking to yourself, what are they doing? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, there are just some that are very average from Puma, that's for sure.
All right, let's talk about what you've brought in though
Yeah,
in
yeah,
detail.
yeah.
So we've got 3 here on show. Where do you want to start?
Let's go left to right.
Okay.
So this one here is, and my wife actually got this for my birthday a few years ago. So
Wow.
shout out to Kate for getting me this one. So it was, I think, I have a feeling they only released maybe like, it was either 10 or 20,000 of them ever
Wow.
for purchase in that long sleeve, that is. And yeah, it's the French centenary shirt that they wore back in 2023, I think it was, maybe from memory.
Was it long sleeves for Griezmann or just?
A couple of them wore long sleeves, but Griezmann historically has always gone the long sleeves. And so when that came up, I was like, yeah, I want to get it.
That's
and
a kit.
So then
That's
Kate
a
was
very,
like,
very nice kit.
I'll get it for your birthday. So I was like, happy days.
That's clean.
Yeah,
That
so
is
that's
clean.
and that's what I love about it. Is like, you know, all you see is basically the cock and the number, and that's it. You
Yeah.
don't see that. It's hard to see the night because it's just blended in. But again, it's just the simplicity of it, and it's just, as you say, it's kind of got that
I
real.
like
old
I like
school
the gold number as well.
beautiful, isn't it? Yeah,
It's good.
yeah. So, yeah. So then the next one is the '98
The
Jamaica.
Kappa.
So we were just speaking about the greatness of Kappa shirts.
This is 98.
98, yeah, 98 World Cup. I think that was the only one that Jamaica have ever been to. And again, growing up, 98 World Cup was probably, I mean, apart from 94, but 98 was probably the one that I really remember because I was about 11 or 12 at that point. So you obviously have a bit more of a recollection. And yeah, some of these shirts, but this one in particular from 98 was
I love
was
the
iconic.
print on the side.
Yeah, it's cool.
And
Yeah,
then I've
it's
gone
awesome.
the matching socks for tonight as well.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so there was a guy that used to be based in Sydney. He's now based in the UK. He used to do all these football socks, and he would convert iconic shirts into football socks. And yeah, so
Do you wear these or these are just?
yeah, I've worn them a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah, again, the it's got to be a good occasion, but you know, if
Like
you
a
go-
wedding or something.
Yeah.
We didn't make the cut tonight. That's what he's saying.
No, I've gone the long sleeve
It
Champions
is
League.
very,
for-
very
good,
nice
it's
for
good.
a
from the
kit.
last Highbury year. So, and then this one is the
That's sick.
93 Tokyo Verde shirt
This is
from the
nice.
J League. Yeah, yeah, it's one
This is cool. It's
one of my-
almost see-through.
yeah, they call it the watermelon shirt.
It looks like a watermelon.
Yeah, so yeah, that's probably my favorite J League shirt of all time. And again, I think that was one of the ones that kind of like stimulated that starting to want to collect different J League shirts. But I also got given the first one I ever got was a Yokohama F Marinos shirt by a mate of mine from Italy who actually came out here and did some work with us for quite a while, and I became really good mates with him. And he goes, "Oh, look, I don't wear it anymore. You have it. I know you collect shirts." So then I was like, "Oh, that's great," you know. And then I just
There
kind
you
of
go.
like kicked on from there. So, but yeah, this one, as soon as that one kind of came up, I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna jump on that one." So, yeah, these are just a few of the shirts in the collection, as you now know. There's
Three of a
hundreds at
couple
home.
hundred.
Yeah. Is that Mizuno the brand?
It is, yeah, yeah, Mizuno, yeah. So they're the only Mizuno shirts I've got in the collection. There's about 10 J League shirts, and they're all Mizuno shirts. So
Yeah, mad.
yeah, but
I love it.
yeah,
It's so unique. Like, where do you see that today?
exactly. And that's part of the reason why I kind of became obsessed, because it's like they had all these amazing kits, and they never really got put on the map here in Australia. It wasn't until the J League kind of got probably more Europeanized and that kind of stuff that it became popular, and then all these people in the UK started selling these shirts, and I was like, man, where the hell? Like, you don't really get that much kind of, it doesn't really hold that much gravitas. And then I think when Ange went over there and started coaching Yokohama as well, I think that kind of then
I forgot he went there. Yeah.
became quite popular for a lot of the people back here. But
What did you think of the kit, the Juventus kit? I'm very biased to Juventus, but what did you think of that whole zebra look that they tried to go for in like 2000 and
on the sleeves, was it like the
Yeah.
away shirt with the zebra sleeves?
yeah,
And it was white on the front. Look, I don't mind it because they've got the whole zebra affiliation as part of their, you know, the old emblem.
yeah, they tried to bring it back.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to make a nod to it. But you know, actually, I like the pink shirts that Juventus always seem
Pink
to bring
shirts,
out.
Pink with the
Fucking
star,
awesome.
the black
Yeah,
star, favorite
yeah,
one ever.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think some of those pink shirts that they've brought out have been so iconic, in their history. And like I know we were speaking before about Del Piero, and I think he probably put a lot of those shirts on the map.
The pink, yeah.
Yeah,
We're retired in the pink shirt
yeah,
from
exactly.
Juventus.
And it's funny, right? Like I think that's the other thing. If you think about like certain moments in football that have happened, it's been one moment that has kind of put a shirt on a map. So for my cousin's birthday, I actually went to on the weekend for his 40th. We got him, and he hasn't received it yet, but he kind of worked out the cryptic clue that I provided to him. We got him a '98 Holland shirt because he's been looking for it. He's Dutch. His dad's Dutch. And he had been looking at it for ages. And the most iconic moment in that shirt was there's only one moment that ever gets shown, was that Bergkamp goal against Argentina in Marseille, where I think it's either De Boer or Overmars kind of pumps this ball long from about 40 or 50 yards, and it travels across his body, and he kind of then just controls it, flicks it back, and then just buries it into the top corner. Right, just fools this Argentinian defender. And again, there's no other moment from that World Cup that kind of puts...
What
that
World
shirt-
Cup was this? What?
98. If you look up Bergkamp Argentina 98, it'll be the first thing that comes up. But there are certain things, I think, certain memories that put shirts on the map. And I think Del Piero in a pink Juventus shirt is certainly one of those. Bergkamp in that instance. Then there's probably the Real Madrid Zidane goal in the Champions League final went against Bayer Leverkusen, where he has that volley off the corner with his left. Again, it puts that Real Madrid, that white shirt on display, and everyone then suddenly wants that shirt because it's got Van Persie, that header against
Spain
in 2014.
Crazy.
But that shirt, again, nothing, it would have just been a normal standard Dutch away shirt, but suddenly everyone wants this Dutch shirt with Van Persie's name on the back, and it just puts things onto
Cracker goal.
Yeah. So I think that's also added an element to football shirt collectors and what they're collecting, and then also probably influences a lot of that value on it.
Yeah,
because
of
if
course.
someone's got it, people are like, I want it. And
I want that jersey after watching that. That was great.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of probably part of the landscape of what people are obsessed with.
And that's like a pure passion. Whereas today, I feel like they're just trying to make moments from anything now. Like, the moment where we won away, like a team goes and wins a game away, then people are like, you got to get that shirt.
Yep.
Like now, I feel like it's oversaturated. Like many things right now.
Yep.
Just taken away
Whereas
from that
a lot
art.
of these things just naturally happened.
Yes, that's right.
Well, they got to post about it now, right?
That's right.
You can't
It
just
didn't
win a
happen.
game and you wear it in your heart.
Yeah.
You got to post about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you got to
it's
make a
crazy.
thing about it. So
Yeah.
But speaking of World Cups, you've
Yeah.
been to I didn't know you went to a couple. You've gone
I've
to a
been
couple?
to 3.
3.
that's all. They're only every 4 years.
Well, it's hard now to get there and do it now that we've got a family and stuff.
Yeah, of
but
course.
one year we would love to try and get there, and
Was it 3 in a
Sure.
row? The 20.
yeah, so it's 6, 10,
Wow.
14.
What was
Okay.
your favourite?
Oh, mate, it's hard to say what a favourite was because they all brought so many great memories.
Internationally, who do you back?
Like, who would I like if at those tournaments? Of course, Australia, but then my dad's side of the family is all English, so I've always got a natural affinity to support England. But I think there's always been a secret love there for the French, just because of the Arsenal influence. Like when I first started watching them, Wenger was managing them. Then there was Henri, Vieira, Pires, and they were just so successful in that period of 98, 2000, and then, subsequent years as well. So, natural affinity there. But in terms of the favourite, it really is. Honestly, it is hard to say what was the favourite World Cup because, like I said, they all bring different memories and they all have different experiences, and they all brought around a lot of fun. Like every place you went to, like Germany, like we were talking before we jumped on tonight. Like it is such a hospitable country when you go there, and when that tournament's on, all they want to do is have fun and just share their culture and their life with you. But then you go to South Africa, and before we went, right, all the talk is, like South Africa, it's riddled with crime and it's going to be so unsafe, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, man, when I was there was probably only one moment that I felt somewhat unsafe, but the rest of it was
Really?
completely fine, right? And it was just like, again, it's all about the people change when it's a life-changing event. If you ever get the chance to go to a World Cup, do it. Trust me, do it. It becomes addictive though, and that was part of the reason why I went to 3
in a row.
It becomes addictive because you just want that same feeling over and over again, and there's nothing you can. It's hard to describe the euphoria that you have when you go to these types of things. And I imagine the Euro probably would have been on a very similar scale.
Just like festive.
It is.
Just
It
festive.
really is a carnival atmosphere every day. There's always something going on. If you go to a bar, if you go to a cafe, if you go to a pizzeria, if you anywhere you go, they've got a TV and they're watching it, and everyone's like huddled around it and just like engrossed in what's going to happen next. And so I think from that it just becomes like the general attraction to wanting to do it. And then I was so glad that the Women's World Cup was here last year, because I said to Kate, like, and to be able to share that with her and with Ollie and stuff as well was like really special, because sure, it wasn't anywhere near to the level of what the ones are in some of these other countries I've been to, but it was still amazing, like, to see how it brought the whole country together, and how the Matildas brought the whole country together. And like, they were just the talk of the town for 30 days, right? They were the talk of everywhere you went. Everyone was talking about it. I was talking to people at work that have never got into football in their life, and they're like, man, I was out last night watching the Matildas at this bar, and it was just like amazing atmosphere.
There we go.
Like, like it kind of just brought that same sort of euphoria that you get when you go to these other ones. But
And it's kind of good because there's no like club affiliation.
No.
Like, it's all country, so it's a bit more.
And you're stoked for the minnows that turn up, and they're just there to have, they're there to represent their nation and actually just give it a crack, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So you back some of those nations that have never been there and done it. Togo and Angola, and like, you just think to yourself, like, Trinidad, like when they went in 2006 with Dwight York, like they'd never been there before. So again, it's that whole just
Like celebration.
It is
like celebrating the sport on a.
They don't care if they don't win. They're there to represent their country. Exactly, and just play 3 games of football, and they'll do the best that they could do, right?
How many games did you go to at each World Cup?
So 2006 had a little bit of a similar experience. Didn't get any tickets, and it was very much last minute planned. So I kind of went in there and winged it. But then I ended up scalping and getting tickets for the Japan game, where we won 3-1.
Wow, the iconic game.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, I got tickets also scalped for the Australia-Italy game, where we got knocked out.
What was the feeling in that stadium?
So we actually sat behind the goal where the penalty was taken, and we were probably in there for an hour after the game, just like in disbelief and shock at what had happened.
Was it like universal? Did everyone feel the same, even like Italian fans? Or?
Yeah, a lot of them were actually coming up to us and like hugging us and embracing us and being like, it's so unlucky. Like, it hurts. We know what it's like, with the penalty misses of Baggio in '94 and other tournaments where they've fallen at kind of like that second last hurdle and stuff. So, I think, it was very much like they weren't rubbing it in. It was very much like...
Did he dive?
I'll answer for it. Yes.
Straight out. It's always over exaggerated. Any footballer that hits that fucking floor is over exaggerated. I'm not backing up Italy here, by the way.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. The question probably should have been, did Lucas and Neil need to actually dive in? And the answer to that is no. I think
that's a good point.
I think if he'd stayed on his feet, he probably actually could have won the ball, or at least prevented Grosso from making any further inroads into it. It was panic.
Yeah. But that no is not like saying like Grosso out. It's just like, no, he dived.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I'm sure
put any player in that position, they probably would have done the same thing.
Everybody,
and you got to think of the circumstances as well, right? So Materazzi had been sent off half an hour before. So we played like a big chunk of the game with an extra man. We should have won the game prior to that. We had enough chances to win the game prior to that. And so...
That was quarterfinal, right?
No, it was
round
16.
of 16.
Oh, round of 16. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we in theory, I think we should have won the game a lot earlier than that moment. So that moment didn't decide it. And I agree with you. Any man in that situation, especially when you're the man with playing with 10 men, as if you're not going to be in that situation where you're going to try and milk it a little bit just to.
But that's on the referee to have better vision of what's, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard, but like, come on, man. Like, and VAR wasn't around then.
VAR wasn't around.
But again, it's very hard at the high like speed they play to be on top of it. But
yeah, like a little tap to the ankle. Was it? I can't even remember it.
No, it was nothing.
Ago.
He just like slid across, and he went to he just like kind of continued his run as if like Neil wasn't there and just like ran into him. Yeah. So he almost ran into him. It wasn't necessarily a dive.
Because he was clear. It was like he was going to put that ball away anyway. Yeah, that was the last defender, right?
Wasn't it towards like...
It was in the corner of the box.
On the left,
corner,
yeah.
So
he was trying to get to the byline and Neil just tried to shut it off. Yeah. But he didn't need to slide in. It was panic.
I'm going to get angry. I'm bringing this up.
Bring it up. No, I support Italy internationally, so I was like...
But in fairness, Italy were the best team of that tournament by a mile. I mean, to have every... What was it? They had 10 different goal scorers that scored in that tournament, and only one person that scored multiple goals.
I believe so.
Tournament. Yeah, so I mean that just goes to show you the true.
We conceded. Element. I think we conceded one goal the whole tournament.
Yeah, it was stupid numbers. So
show us the dive. Show us the dive.
When it first happened, I would say it was, but now looking back on it in a lot more hindsight, and
he's literally like. Lucas Neal has gone to the ground before any contact, and then he's literally.
But how early does Lucas go down? That's the other thing.
It was a stupid.
It's clumsy
tackle.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, like we said, anyone in that position, 10 men down, Italy, and also the reputation of Italian football against Australia on the line as well.
Yep,
they're probably panicking in their heads.
Yep,
but he's like really. All right, it might have been a dive, but what's he supposed to do? Try and jump over him? Like,
but that's
thinking that fast. Like, really, on both sides, right? He's wasn't thinking, and he dove.
Yep.
And he didn't think to jump over him. He just wanted to continue his run, but he's tripped over his upper body, right?
Yeah.
Or over his mid body. So you go down, you're stopping me from making my run, and you haven't touched the ball. That's a penalty.
Oh, look, looking back on it now, absolutely no doubt that... I mean, even in this day and age, if you threw VAR into it and the referees awarded it, they've got to find some sort of conclusive evidence to
I
show
remember
that
going to school the next day.
Yeah.
And I copped it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you fucking diving cheats, whatever. I'm like, I didn't play the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Who cares? Like, I'm happy that we won, but like...
Yeah.
I don't like penalties either. You know that. We spoke about this last week. I don't like winning from penalties.
Yeah.
I think it's a cop-out.
He thinks if a player scores a penalty in 90 minutes, it's not a goal.
Fuck that. It's going to be...
someone's got to do it. Someone's got to put it away.
Someone's got to put it away.
It's not a goal for him.
But like... Okay.
He will say... It says 1-0, he goes, it's 0-0.
No. Scenario. Ibrahimovic is running with the ball.
Yeah.
And something happens as a penalty, but Rooney takes the penalty.
You have a penalty taker.
No, but it should be the person that had the ball. He was going to attempt the shot. That's why we're all there.
I'd be happy with that rule.
I'd be more than happy with that rule.
Yeah.
Get Grosso to take
you're the
that
person
penalty.
that got...
Would he have buried it like Totti did? Because honestly, that was the best penalty I've ever seen in my life. To this day. And I've seen a lot of penalties.
The fucking man.
But that penalty, like even Schwarzer said, there is like if he stood in that same situation and Totti took that penalty again and again, there's no way he would have ever been able to stop it because of the power and the precision in which he hit it into the apex of that goal. And I still remember it to this day, like literally sitting behind it going, he could not have hit that ball any better. He could not have found that spot in the goal any better. It was like just pristine.
There you go.
That takes cojones to do that on that stage. Hey?
Absolutely. Like in that situation, all he had to do was just pass it into the corner. But to blast it into the top corner,
it's mental.
Exactly as you say, like it takes balls to step up there and just do that and just be like, "Yep, done, game."
Big question.
Yeah.
Were you at the game where Timmy Cahill scored that bomb against Netherlands?
Yeah, I was, and I threw my mate into the next row in sheer excitement.
What a goal.
Yeah, so again, let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So
Hang on, is this off the kickoff?
yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck.
So the Dutch have just scored, right? And we're pretty gutted about it because we're actually at the end where the Dutch have scored. We're in line with the 18-yard box, and I think it was Robin that actually scored to make it 1-0. So we're gutted. We're like far out, like conceding. Like it's going to be hard now to come back. And so like you sit back down in your seat and
It was like 8 seconds off the kickoff or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And something ridiculous.
So they kick off and they drop it. I think it's Bailey Wright that plays that ball long, right? And so he pumps this ball long, and I'm just thinking, like, literally the three of us that are there are like, why the fuck are you pumping that ball long? And then the next minute, Cahill just drops his left foot bomb into the goal, and we are just like, oh my fucking God. And so then I'm like, I grab my mate, I'm like, just throwing. He's like in the next row, he's like over seats and stuff, like slumped, and he's like, what are you doing? But how good was that? Like, and yeah, we just, like, as I said, we reminisce about that every year that goal comes up. It's the same with the Cahill goals from the Japan game. It's like every year, send that video to the guys that I was with, and we're like, can you believe it's been like this many years since that happened?
What an icon for Australian football.
Yeah.
Timmy
Oh,
Cahill.
honestly.
Yeah.
What's Timmy doing now?
I think he works for FIFA, or he was like certainly part of the whole Qatari.
He did
World
punditry
Cup.
as well for a bit.
Yeah. So
Because he played for Palace, is that right? Crystal Palace?
Everton. Yeah, he played for Everton, and then he was out here for a bit playing for Melbourne City, and over in the US playing for Red Bulls and stuff with Henri when he was there for a bit.
That's class, eh?
Yeah,
That is class.
So yeah, I think now he's doing a bit of punditry, but also kind of promoting a lot of different elements of Asian football and stuff, which is not necessarily a bad thing for him. Like it's like he's got the image and the profile, and he can cash in on it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
right?
that's it. 100%.
So yeah,
I'm still salty about his last game. Arnold put him on for like the last 5 minutes.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, should have just been like, go out there, at least play the first 45, right? You know, and like actually give him the send
An
off
icon for what he has done for this
the
country
game.
game.
Yeah.
He got not even 8 minutes.
Yeah. You think he's the best to have worn the Socceroos shirt? Because there's always that great debate. Like, was it Kuehl?
Between him and Aloisi, I think. I like Aloisi.
Oh, Aloisi was honestly one of the more underrated footballers.
Yeah.
For the Socceroos.
I love Mark Viduka, but
Yeah, Dukes was great. Didn't score enough goals for me.
yeah.
But his hold up play and his build up play was phenomenal.
Like Timmy Cahill would be the elite.
Yeah, I think I have to put Timmy
Yeah.
Cahill as the GOAT.
Yeah.
Just that goal alone.
Yeah. I
Just
I mean,
that
he
goal
was
alone.
consistent in 3 World Cup. Like
Yep.
even he went to 2018, yeah? He
Yep.
did.
Yeah.
he went to 2018.
That whole kerfuffle about Daniel Arzani not playing because he
Yeah.
was on fire, and we could
Yeah.
have made something from that World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he popped up at pivotal moments.
That's
Like
all
the
you need
Japan,
to do. Right?
the Japan game, and then
Even for the Asian Cup success.
the Asian Cups, like that we were really good in.
2015 Asian Cup. What a time.
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
a time.
So I mean, you can't doubt that. The best players always step up when your team needs them most, and he did that
Yeah.
without fail.
I've had some light conversations with Graham Arnold about the Australian side.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, he's a customer at the shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
Right.
I don't like talking about it too much. As much as I don't like talking about my shop to people when I'm not at work.
Yeah, fair.
You know, but I've just
You talk to him tactically about why he played this player in this game. And
pretty much, yeah.
Nick's
like
If
you
it-
should
if
be
it was-
doing this.
if it was my opinion, this is what I would have
Hey,
done.
people come in and build their own panini, so
Yeah,
you know what?
that's
No, but like he's a nice bloke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. He's a nice guy,
And look-
he's very open to discussing it as well. But I like talking about football as a whole to him, to be honest.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
so much the Australian side.
And look, across the board, all the time that he played for the Socceroos, all he's done as an assistant, as a coach,
unbelievable.
you can't fault what he's actually brought to the national team.
And
But I
also-
think he just went. It just towards the end, it started to dry out. I don't think the players were buying into his tactics anymore. You could see it. There just wasn't that same energy and that kind of same fight, and he knew that. He was the man that kind of then said, "Look, I'm just going to fall on my own sword and go out. Like it's better that fresh eyes and poppers come in
And good on
delivered so
Arnold as
far.
well, because, before that, man, what he did for the A-League.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like with Sydney and the Mariners, had a lot of
Unbelievable.
success. Like,
Unbelievable.
he built that dynasty at Sydney, really, that
Yeah.
then Corica inherited. And yeah, I mean, how long did it take him to do that? But what he did, for Sydney was
Just
great.
in general, legend of the
And now
Australian
Popovich
football.
is taking over, yeah? He's
Yeah.
also another great bloke. I've spoken
Yeah.
to him many times as well.
It's a shame that he's managed some other clubs and not
Yeah,
not Sydney, but I'm not going to mention them.
we
but
can't. You've already mentioned one. Big no-no.
but
You're talking about
But he-
WSW?
but
Who won on Saturday?
yeah, but Popper is actually a really good coach. Like, taking away from that, he's a very, very good tactician, and he demands a lot from the players that play under him. So
Do you think he's burning about not winning an A-League? Man, 5 finals.
he's been
man.
close. I mean,
I know.
he's had a few cracks at it, hasn't he? So yeah, I mean, would he have liked more success? Did he deserve more success? Absolutely. But sometimes that's just the way it is, right? It just
That's
shows.
football.
It shows
It's sport.
exactly. It shows the consistency though for him though, that he can go to different teams and deliver every time that he's gone there, to getting him to that level.
And no one looks at that, but hey,
No.
they always go straight to the negative.
Oh, he
5
didn't win
finals
it.
he lost.
Yeah, he didn't win anything. He
But-
didn't win anything.
What, 3
The
different teams?
unprofessionals
Yeah.
will go to that.
Yeah.
The unprofessionals
And
will go
look,
to that.
to be honest, when Popper got appointed, I'm not going to lie, I was probably more on the detractor side at first, because I thought the same thing. It's like, we want some success here. We want to be able to get to the World Cup, and when we get to the World Cup, we want to get out of the group, and we actually want to get into the knockout phases. Can Popper do it? Like, has Popper got that mental edge to take us to that? Because, like you said, he's been to 5 grand finals and he's never been able to convert them. But he's been able to get Premier's Plates, FFA Cups, all those types
And
of things.
Asian Champions League.
Asian
to be fair.
Champions League as
Yeah.
well.
He
right?
won that.
Exactly. So he has proven that he can do it at the deep end of tournaments. It's just that final push. And winning a league to qualifying for a World Cup, they're very different. Very different styles or adaptations of the game. So
Yeah, of course.
so it's hard to kind of compare. So you kind of got to just give the guy a go and a crack, and then.
Did you go to the World Cups with all the same boys?
So with two guys, I went in 6 and 10 for one of them, and then another one I went 6 and 14, and then the other World Cups were a mix of other guys that JT plays football with now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Or Die Hard?
all diehards.
Yeah.
Yeah, all diehards.
Good
So-
mates.
Yeah, great mates.
Very good.
Love all the guys. So
Very good. It's a
so we've been able to share. I've been able to share the experience with multiple
good.
guys.
Good, that means you got a selection because it's time.
Oh.
It's time, Ando.
Oh, here we go.
This is the game.
Yeah, go talk to me
So you're going to call someone.
right now. I've got
Preferably one of the boys.
right.
Yeah, it's 9:30, so preferably someone that's awake. If they answer, there's
Yeah.
a gun to your head. If they answer, you die.
If they answer, I die.
If they answer, so you got to think who's not going to answer their phone. Have a good hard think about it.
I've got one guy.
You got one?
Yeah,
Go for it.
you want me to call him right
You're
now?
gonna call him on speaker.
On speaker. If he answers, he's gonna probably think, "Why the hell is he calling me at this time of night?"
That's why it's perfect.
Yeah.
The best. Just call Alex. He'll answer.
No. That's not entertaining.
All right, I'm gonna call him, but I'm absolutely certain he would have gone to bed like an hour ago.
Okay.
'Cause he normally is.
That's good. That's who you want.
That's who you want.
Here we
Get
go.
it on speaker right next to that mic.
Thought it was it. You're clear, surely.
Oh! Evie, how you going, mate? I'm on JT's podcast.
And Nick's.
I'm on JT and Lombardo's podcast.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
He's told some great stories about you, Evie.
How good's that?
So
Oh, yes.
they sent a set of proposition to me. They said if there's one guy that you can call that's not going to pick up, you got a gun to your head, and if they don't pick up, you live, right?
Yeah.
be picked up.
So say goodbye to Ando.
No more World Cups, Ev.
Oh mate, I was like adamant. I was like, he would have gone to bed at like 8:30, man. There's no way he would pick up his phone now.
Oh, mate, I'm usually got an hour under my belt.
So yeah, look, so I probably woke you up, didn't I?
No, I was dozing.
Anyway, mate, I'll let you go. But good to speak to you, mate.
Nice to speak to you, Evie.
Well, yeah, so sorry to do that to you.
That's all good, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
See you, boys.
See
Yeah,
ya.
mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
That's
great.
gold. What a guy, just really quickly, Evie,
Yeah, great bloke.
top bloke.
Yeah.
I know Evan Evans is a good guy.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Do you remember I played with you guys against JT?
Yeah,
I was a
yeah.
goalkeeper and I was
Yeah,
shocking.
yeah.
But then I came out as a defender and I did great.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get signed to the team.
the full house sign was up probably.
It was
it's
done.
a hard team to crack into, mate.
It was done.
So yeah, no, Evie's a great bloke. He's probably my best mate. You know, like I was best man at his wedding and he was best man at mine, and
Yeah,
like we've
okay.
grown up like since we were like 7 or 8 years old. We played football together and traveled the world together and gone to a couple of World Cups together and stuff. And now watching our kids grow up together is like it's a pretty special
They're
feeling.
same age?
So Henry is he'll be 4 next year, I think, in April, and then so there's about an 18-month difference between Ollie and Henry, and then I think it goes about another 18 months back the other way. So his youngest is 12 months in December.
Have you worked out when the 18th falls, like their 18th birthday for the World Cup years?
I haven't yet, but that's something that I can broach with him the next time. I'm actually due to catch up with him on the weekend. So
There you go.
there's a topic of discussion to get that in alignment to
So you go
send
down
them
the
off
calendar.
Yeah, that's it. When are we sending them off to their first World Cup? So,
Crazy.
but yeah, no, we've had some great fun at World Cups, and had lots of stories that we reminisce on and always think about and think back to, and the different people that you meet on the journey that you go far out. Like, wonder what that person's doing now, or it's been some. Yeah, we've had some great experiences together.
That's
so,
mad.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, did you want to... Was there the story you had?
Oh yeah, so he was actually there that day. I probably should have kept him on the phone for
Oh,
it.
that's
No, he'd be dozing off now. But so we were going to this small town. The Socceroos were based in this small town that was probably about 2.5 or 3 hours away from Stuttgart, up in the hills. And the 2.5 to 3 hours is by this really small train that is like a tram going up this hill, right? Like, so you get a train somewhere and then you convert to this train thing. It took us forever to get there, and it's a stinking hot day. And then we finally get to this town. It's called Urigen, the town with the town with 2 dots, right? That's what they called it, and it was the O town with 2 dots. And it was tiny as, but the Socceroos were based there. There was like where they were training and all that kind of stuff. And we thought, this would be mad. Like, we could try and watch them train and stuff and meet a few of the boys and all that kind of stuff. We find out where the ground is. We walk to the ground with our rucksacks on and stuff. Get there, and they've got the entire ground meshed up. It's like there's a running track around it, and then there's a football pitch in the middle, and it's all meshed up around this wire fence. And so we're like, far out, bless you, mate.
Thank you.
And we're like, far out. How are we gonna? We can't really see in there or anything. And Evie's like, I've got a pocket knife. Like, we could probably just cut like a little slit. There's this slit here. Like, let's just cut it a little bit, and we kind of peer through it. So it's like me, Evie, and Minna. Right, and we're all just like hovering around this one hole in the fence watching the Socceroos train, right? And then out of nowhere, this German family with like 2 kids just pop up into this bush. We're in a bush, right? Like, watching the Socceroos train, and they just pop into this bush out of nowhere, and they're like, Dankeschön, like, and we're like, oh, hi, how are you? Right, and they were like, oh, it's great to have the Australian team in town. Like, they're so friendly and lovely, and we're like, You've had the chance to meet them. We would love to meet them. And they're like, oh yeah, but it's very hard to meet them. Like, they're very much like, the security won't let them anywhere near anyone, blah, blah, blah. So we start having a chat, and they notice the rucksacks, and they're like, oh, have you got anywhere to stay? Probably knowing full well that there's nowhere to stay in this town. It's like there's probably like one hotel and it's probably fully booked by the Socceroos. So we're like, no, we've got nowhere to stay. Like, we just kind of come here on a whim and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, oh, we know a family that are kind of like being pensions, and they're letting out the top floor of their house to people. And we're like, all right, like we're 18, we're naive as hell. So we'd like jump in the back of their Tarago, they throw our rucksacks in, and then they drive us to this house. Meanwhile, I'm not thinking like they could be taking us anywhere, right? So we rock up to this person's house, and the guy there, he's the only guy that speaks English. The whole family that are there, they only speak German. So he's like translating between his mum and us, like dialogue. And he's like, look, to stay here for a night, it's 20 euros. And you get breakfast, lunch and dinner. And your beds are upstairs and you can just stay with us as long as you want. 20 euro a night each. And we're like, yeah, sweet, done. Like, lock it in. So he like takes us upstairs, we put our bags down. And then he's like, come down, we're going to have like a barbecue for dinner and stuff. So we get back downstairs and they take us out to the backyard, and he's got like this huge barbecue out the back, and he's cooking up pork knuckles and all these bratwursts and everything. We're just like, fuck, this is heaven. Like, we're paying 20 euros and we're going to eat like kings. We haven't done this for ages. Like, forgotten the feeling. We're eating tin baked beans and bread rolls and like pretzels and all just, you know,
Food to get by.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just struggling to find accommodation somewhere and do all the train tickets and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we get out the backyard and we see the barbecue, and then up against the fence is like a wall of crates of beer, like 5 by 5 crates of beer, and in each beer is like 12 bottles of beer, and he's like, as part of the 20 euros, you can drink as much of that as you want. And we're like, are you fucking kidding me? We're 18. Like, we're getting on the piss.
Yeah, hard.
The next minute, the house next door, the gate opens. It's his family. They live next door. They come in for the barbecue. Then a gate next to them opens up, and another family comes in. They're all related. These 3 families, one by one, got this huge barbecue like out the back. We're just having the time of our lives on the drink. And it was just like 20 euro a night. We stayed there for a few nights. I then had to duck off to go back to my cousin's wedding in the UK. But literally I ducked off, and then the next day, Minna and Ev got interviewed by SBS about these random Aussie backpackers that were staying with this family in Oregon.
I think I had to tell me this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so you might be able to find the clip on YouTube. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you guys. But yeah, they end up making SBS. So I was back in the UK at my cousin's wedding and in a pub watching, I think England played Trinidad and Tobago. But meanwhile, these guys are being interviewed by SBS.
That's classic.
Yeah, and then I ended up coming back and meeting them in Munich. But it just, it goes back to what we were talking about before around the whole kind of like going to small towns and villages, and you don't know what's going to kind of unfold, right? It just kind of becomes this random thing. But it's just those stories that you kind of walk away with on your travels, and you don't think that would ever happen. But then we had kind of really similar experiences at other World Cups where you book Airbnbs, and then the next minute you're like, someone's cleared out their daughter's bedroom or something, or their son's bedroom, and then you're sleeping on the floor. Like the sons of kids have been parked off to the grandparents, and they've leased out their room for the night, and you're sleeping on the floor of the room, like with just blow up mattresses or something, just to kind of get by. But exactly, but it's all part of that travel experience, and people just kind of feeling like open to opening up their homes during those tournaments. But it's just crazy experience. Like, you know, like as I said, there's stories that you cherish and you kind of tell your kids, you know, when they're going to be older, you tell them that story, and then tell your grandkids and all that kind of stuff. So
And the Flaeva show.
And the Flaeva show, and now
course.
I've told you guys, so you've been privileged to it. So yeah, it's as I said, it's just those types of things that make going to those types of tournaments special. And you've had the same experience, JT, when you went to Germany and you go to these small towns. It's the small towns that generally tell the best stories.
That's it. Hidden
Yeah,
away.
that's awesome.
Got to get
that's
to
it.
them.
So
All right, man, that was fascinating, man. I didn't hear the backstory. I heard the SBS bit, but not the. Of course, right? It's SBS.
Yeah, of course.
All right, just
So-
to end up here, Flaeva 5.
Yeah, Flaeva 5.
Let's
go.
do most iconic football kits.
Okay.
Your favourite 5?
God.
You got 200 and something to pick from.
Yeah. God. Top shirt. I'll go fifth. Would have to be the Arsenal Invincible shirt, the home shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, just again iconic
Classic.
for what they did in it and achieved in it.
Yep.
Probably number 4 would be this Highbury shirt. Again, I think it's just kind of classic and timeless. Something that they could easily roll back in and it wouldn't go out of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 would probably be the France '98 shirt. Again, just iconic. It's every French fan talks about that experience for them and just like what it brought to their nation. So I think from that point of view, it's probably got that little bit of sentiment. And I think again because it was the first World Cup that I really remember, I was like far out. Like that's a really iconic shirt, just with the Adidas stripes on the front and all that kind of stuff. And then number 2, I'll probably say this Jamaica shirt. Yeah, again, just something it's just so random and so like it's got a bit of flair about it. Probably, it just keep it simple in the description of it. But the top shirt, man, that is tough. The top shirt that I own, or just that I
Nah, I think in general.
in
you don't have
general
to own it.
General. Something that you've been hunting for a while.
that I'm still hunting would be the bruised banana.
The bruised banana.
An original bruised banana would be on that list.
Wow.
And again, it's just they're so iconic.
What a shirt.
It's so iconic.
Until he
And
misses one more. Just one more.
so if Kate's watching, next birthday, please. That would be great. But,
Wine a bruised
do you know the
banana. No.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
I do know the
it's
kid.
it's hard to avoid fakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing. You've got to know who you're buying it off. For that one, I'd only be buying it off like a handful of people that I actually know that sell
Yeah, yeah.
legit kits and at a good price. But a lot of people again have milked that and kind of gone, people want it and I know people want it, so
I'm
I'll
going to
charge.
make a copy.
I've seen guys sell them for like £400 and £500 for a shirt.
Oh, what's that? Aussie dollars. That'd be like... Yeah.
860.
About $800 or $900.
Yeah.
How old are you turning next year?
38.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
age,
yeah,
Kate.
yeah.
That's a good age.
That's a milestone.
Yeah.
I might have to wait a few more years, maybe until the 40th. But yeah,
Nah, 38's good, Kate.
So you can wear it on the 40th.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe I can come back on the podcast and I can wear it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there you
There's
go.
a promise to you guys,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
wear
no-
it in as well.
yeah,
You need
yeah.
a couple of years to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
I get it.
right.
I'm
Come
all
on,
for it.
Kate.
Exactly right. So
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And thank you, mate. Remind me your Instagram name again.
The Kitmando.
The Kitmando.
Yeah. Get on there. Give us a follow. Give us a shout out. And if there's any shirts people are hunting, feel free to send me a DM and we'll try and help you out.
I'll hit you up for a nice Juve kit. I don't finish
Oh,
anymore.
mate. Done. Let's lock it in.
We're in.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Awesome.
you heard it here first. The Kitmando. Look it up on Instagram. We'll catch you next week.